Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case. On and off, people have claimed or suggested that Noah Presgrove never walked away from the party, never walked away from the property, as in ending up on the highway. But depending how individuals word it, you can interpret it in different ways. And for example, Michael Facekaz has given his thoughts a few days ago. And I want to use it as an example to try and get answers as to what people truly think, because it's not clear enough. And by definition of a party, is that in regard to inside of the house? Does it apply to just outside of the house on top of it? Does it apply down the dirt road? The highway, well, likely you are away from the party, and more so away from the property, because at the end of the day, there's a difference between being away from the party and then being away from the property itself. And as well, you got to understand, wherever the people go, that's where the party follows. Whilst you've got the host and you've got the original place, which has been rented out or lived in and provided for people to come together and party, it's the people that make it a party. They're the soul of it. That can be a description, a term, a compliment used towards people in life. So considering the footage, what we've seen inside of the house, just outside, did the party ever extend anywhere else? You got to take into consideration when it came to Sunday morning after, well, around breakfast time, the people, the friends going out to Warwick, party goers leaving the property to go to Warwick. Were they partying? No, not the actions of partying, but party goers were all together. So that's another definition. Party goers that come from or going to a party, but the party itself is a location, a singular place, a gathering where people hang out, chat, drink, have fun, have a good time. But if people were to continue those same said actions and behaviour and move on elsewhere, they're moving the party, a portable one. So depending where Noah Presgrove was at a certain time, did the party follow Noah or what? Just these different terms to throw about. But I do want to analyse Michael's comment because it is kind of interesting in terms of how he's worded it. I am aware Justin Roy in the past has mentioned it's hard to believe that Noah Presgrove would walk away, or wording it in a way as Noah Presgrove didn't walk away from the party. But did he walk away from the property? Did he stay on the property but walk away from the party? What do you exactly mean? People aren't always clear enough and don't always give an answer or a follow-up, so hopefully this video will generate a response some way or another. And I will apply photos, imagery from the party to the house, the environment, whilst I narrate over it to give my additional thoughts, okay? Welcome if you are here in this live premiere. Share your thoughts and opinions in the live chat on the right side of the screen. If you've got any additional comments, questions, theories, ideas, questions, answers, whatever, be sure to drop them down below under the video. It'll help with spreading awareness. If you haven't already checked out my latest video beforehand, which was looking at the newest news articles, it was a bit quiet there. I don't think as many people heard about it, but you can catch up on it with the full playlist on the case. Top right corner where the eye symbol is up there, just click. If you want to support the channel, there is a PayPal link down below in the pinned comments with channel membership. That all being said, let's begin. Here we are on screen, and it is a comment from one of my videos a couple of days ago or so you should be able to view it yourself if you wanted to respond. I did give a response, but I did not receive an answer from Michael, but maybe he might respond in this video for context. Take in mind, Michael won't be the only one that thinks this way, but I'm just using it as an example because it's what I've seen just recent. Michael says, Noah Presgrove didn't walk away from the party, in my opinion. That's fine. You see how Michael words it? This is how it should be. This is what people should do. Nothing wrong with thinking that way. It's understandable. It's other people out there that won't use the, in my opinion, or what I think, or a theory. It just goes a long way. Consider it. Michael says Noah was driven, already deceased. So how I interpreted it was, as you see the response down below, so do you think that Noah died in the house? It depends how you define walking away from the party. If Noah didn't walk away from the party itself being in the house where Noah is with the party goers, the outside aspect, is this considered the party as well, or is this considered away from the party? If everybody was inside of the house partying and you were outside alone, supposedly like Jasmine Millen at 3:41 taking that snap, you could argue that you're away from the party. But if the party, which basically consists and means a group of people together performing certain actions and having fun, if those people overflowed outside on the front patio area, as you see here, either Sunday night or early Monday morning around that time, then it means the party's outside as well. So if you, or Noah Presgrove, was to walk away from the party which was inside of the house and was stood outside on the front patio area, you've walked away from the party. If partygoers exit the building and then start hanging outside talking, the party has catched up, the party has joined you. So then Noah would have to walk away again, as in such as down the dirt road. I'm not saying that that's exactly what happened, but I'm talking about the conditions and the circumstances of what makes a party and what's defined by walking away from one. Walking away from the house in which the party's inside, walking away even though you're already outside if the party overflowed outside, if people joined up. Kind of like the footage, what you see there. I think Noah Presgrove is present too. So, Noah didn't walk away from the party if Michael was referring specifically to the house and maybe round the back and the front, that once you get onto the dirt road and you head east, which Noah was, well, it was claimed that that's what Noah did. As soon as you reach the dirt road and walk on, that's when you have walked away from the party properly. How would Michael define it? That's what I'd like to know. Because without clear context, if it's just to do with the house, because the original story of Noah Presgrove is Noah walked out of the house, walked away from the party to cool off. The moment he exited through the door, the moment he walked away from the party. If that's what Michael Facecaz is referring to, as in Noah didn't do that, it would imply that Noah Presgrove, out of his own free will, did not exit through the door. So what did Noah Presgrove do then, after the bedroom debacle? To say that Noah was driven, already deceased, as in driven down to the highway to possibly stage a hit and run, or just to simply drop off Noah's body on the highway. It means that when Noah was driven, as in loaded up in a side-by-side or some pickup on site of the party house property, Noah already being dead, and if Noah hadn't walked away from the party, as in exiting the front door of the house, it would imply that Noah died or was killed inside of the building. That's how I questioned it myself. Maybe Michael can give a clearer explanation, as in, do you think, Michael, that Noah Presgrove was killed, died somehow inside of the house or outside of the house? Because if the party is classified as inside of the house and outside of the house, if there were people on the patio area kind of partying, you see the circumstance. I think one way or one key thing to question would be at 3:30, who was about and where were they? So even though this is Saturday, it's just used as an example to show inside of the party house. And that's the outside, which you can refer to again. That's Sunday night, 10:50 onwards, okay? As for the bedrooms, we've not really seen proper photos of them. As for the rooms and the layout of the house, not seen that. Maybe it's not that important, but you know what would be quite good? 3D or blueprints of the party house. the property itself, actual blueprints. You know, like with the Idaho 4 case, where it showed the different rooms, the layouts, the different floors, the beds, the bunks, and the timing of it and the movement. Analysing it. It'd be good to analyse the blueprints of the party house inside the rooms, the complex, to understand the points of views, the visions, and how events could have occurred, and the distance from one door to another, from the front door to the bathroom to the bedroom and so on. Because we don't really see that in the actual footage. I think that'd be quite good. We've not really seen any, we've not seen any footage round the back, the pasture. Why is that? They went round the back at any point? Interesting. This particular one, it's from Caden Pressey's point of view. It's like a screenshot from his video, which would be from his camera roll, as in the default gallery app, meaning it was not a snap, it was just a normal recorded video through the phone camera, which I think is quite important to acknowledge. But it's a screenshot from it. And this is just from another angle, basically, and I believe that is the front door down there, right? So that being in mind, you have to turn right and then turn left, and then you're outside. So is it up to that door? If you're inside, you're considered as in and at the party. At the moment you step through that door, and you exit onto the outside part, which just behind them is the, you can't see it, but it's behind them is the porchway and the steps. Is that considered as away from the party? How much distance is considered walking away from the party or away from the party in general? The act of walking away from a party can be successful and also unsuccessful. If you're collared, brought back, stopped, halted. The argument with Avery and Jack, verbal fight with Noah, when did that happen? Was it in the process of when Noah was walking away? Was it earlier? Just guessing and theorising, I'd say it might have happened around the bedroom debacle when Noah may have called Avery something, walked away, Avery was annoyed, followed Noah out, Jack followed, but if that was the case, Jack would have to be awake. I mean, Caden did say at 2:42, Jack was seen awake and up at the party. Jack may have gone to sleep here, woke up later, gone to sleep, and so on. But there is conflict, of course, because it was worded that Jack woke up or was woken up at 5:30 by Jasmine to announce that Noah's missing. So before that, Jack was completely oblivious to it. If Jack was oblivious to it, then what time did Jack and Avery actually argue with Noah then on the Monday? If Jack was asleep, how could he be arguing with Noah? Two places at once, yet again. As said, mentioned in the wrongful death lawsuit. It's an event which I've never heard of before. The closest that I heard of was mentioned by Justin Roy, that there was an argument Monday between Noah and Jack, but no time was given. And I interpreted that as, well, maybe it's when Noah was walking away and Jack caught up. But still, Jack was supposedly asleep at certain times, so how could he argue with Noah unless it was much earlier on the Monday? Maybe past midnight. Worth taking into consideration. This was just a different point of view. More of a retrospective story, I believe, on Snap by Caden saying, too soon, man. Different outlook. And you can see the overlay of when it was posted also, 1:05 in the morning, which I believe is on the day of Noah's death. But then again, if I be honest with you, that overlay of 1:05 in the morning, whilst it's true to the time of when it was recorded, as in Noah Presgrove getting slapped by Brylan, that overlay of the time of the original footage, but to have that black banner going across saying too soon, man, I'm guessing this is like a tribute, but also on the spot an emotional reaction, as in too soon, lost a life too soon, had so much ahead for them in life. You know, one of those, like Caden Pressey honouring Noah, but also highlighting how it was so sudden, a life taken away. But okay, it says 17 hours ago when I guess the person took the screenshot of the Caden Pressey snap, in which 17 hours earlier Caden had posted it, and 17 hours later a viewer or someone, spectator, got this screenshot. But Caden, with the overlay of 1:05 in the morning, yes, but to also say too soon, man, Basically, if you didn't know the context, you could misinterpret it and say, what, was Caden Pressey kind of predicting the future, that it was too soon for Noah to die, but it was announced 1:05 in the morning, yet Noah was still alive then? What the fuck's going on? See, do you know why it's weird in a way? Unless it's like an original snap of Noah getting slapped by Brylan, which it said 1:05 in the morning, then that same snap was reposted or reused later post-death of Noah, and then the banner "Too Soon Man" was added on from the previous overlay of the original true time. Could explain. It's just because that overlay up there, 1:05, is very similar to the type of overlay which Jasmine Millan used on her snap at 3:41. But 3:41 was the actual time of when she did the post, took the photo and uploaded to Snapchat. Caden Pressey here, 1:05 in the morning to the footage, yes, but then that overlay of saying "Too Soon Man" makes it sound like it's being said at the time of 1:05, at the time of when Noah was still alive. Why would you say that? Likely, it might have been reposted, but it's just weird. The overlay on top of an overlay. It must be a repost of an earlier thing. No, well, yeah. Then 12:48, you had this one. Caden's 15-year-old cousin got so drunk she was throwing up, and Caden sent this photo to his mother, Alicia, of her sitting. Sent this photo to Caden's mother of her sitting on the ground before he went to sleep a little before 2 in the morning. But before that, had to look after Georgia up to a certain point. Caden is on the left. Those two shoes, Hey Dude shoes, that's Caden on the left. But the photo's taken beside Caden. It's a bit of a weird angle, so he must have had his arms extended. And then the shoe, the leg, the trouser down there is Brylan's sweat. Now, because you only see one leg, the actual phone device is closer to Brylan's sweat, his leg, than it is to Caden Pressey. So whilst Caden Pressey supposedly took the photo, the angling of it makes it seem like Caden's got extra long arms, and to be taking it from that angle, whilst what Caden should have done is taken it from the angle of his point of view facing head on to her and not by the side. It's a very weird angle for Caden to take a photo of. It does seem like Brylan Sweat may have taken the photo because the device, their camera angle is closer to his leg. But was Caden's phone used, or did Brylan use his phone and then Caden got a hold of it and then passed it on to Alicia? I don't understand that. Really don't understand. It's a bit weird. But this is outside of the party house, the patio area. I don't know if it's like towards the end of the patio, kind of edging round the back, the side of the house. Nevertheless, it implies or shows that the party has extended outside Monday morning. So for Noah Presgrove onwards, when walking away, what's the deal there? Interesting, very. What else do we have? So this image here, followed by that one and that one. I know it's a bit zoomed out, but in terms of what defines a party and when you get too far away, what's the deal there? 3:30. Time Noah walked away. How many people were outside? The time when Noah Presgrove walked away from the party, as it's claimed, crossing over the patio area, how many people were outside at that time? Because it was mentioned by Jack that Logan was to see Noah walking away, but did not follow. Robin, Ashley Chadwick, had said that Jasmine Millan told them it was actually Avery. So what, Logan and Avery and maybe Jack, maybe. A couple of people saw Noah walk away. You could interpret that as Noah left the party, walked away, so did some of the others, but stopped and then just watched Noah walk away and did not do anything about it. But there was enough reason to follow Noah outside then, which is interesting. You're not going to follow up on Noah or check where he goes, but you are going to just stand outside and watch him fade away into darkness. Interesting. If there was nothing to worry about, as like partygoers would say, and it's normal for Noah to walk away, is it normal for partygoers to walk outside, follow Noah, and then stand there and then watch him walk away into darkness? Why follow Noah so far in the first place? There's got to be a reason for that, right? That's what stands out to me in some way. 3:30. Where was everyone at 3:30 in the morning? Was everyone inside of the house? Then you could say, as soon as Noah walked through the door, he's walked away from the party. Has he walked away from the property? No, not exactly. So it's just about understanding the definitions and the terms. I mean, if the house is considered the party, as in inside, and Michael says Noah didn't walk away from the party, what? Noah Presgrove never left the house, never exited through the door. So if Noah was to be killed inside of the house, wouldn't there be enough witnesses about and people resting and sleeping and the noise of it all? It just seems way too risky. All that evidence and blood, possibly, and the damage to Noah, very unlikely for it to happen all inside of the house. Party house, party property. You get what I mean in terms of the definitions? You know, that's the dirt road. Noah Presgrove walking down up to a certain point. You've got the house as well, or a house or an abandoned building there, which some people claimed may have been used by certain partygoers or fully grown adults. An extension to the party house. And then the supposed trailer down there owned by Stevie Howard, way down there west, like a dead end. So, in a way, if you've got the party house occupied by people inside and outside, and then you've got the house, abandoned or not, towards the top of the crossing railroad, and that might have been used as a party house at the same time. There's no Presgrove walking away from one party. Is he entering or getting close to another party which is taking place nearby? So did he ever really walk away from a party, truly, if he was near to another one? And did he meet any other faces or strangers in between? If any partygoers were not welcomed at the main house, did they collect at one of the other houses? And Noah, when walking away by himself, came across them and something went wrong. Depends how you look at it, really. I think, or the likely response by Michael Facekaz will be that Noah Presgrove died on site at the property, but outside of the house. But to Michael, not walking away from the party, as in, even though Noah went outside of the building, it's still considered as present at the party, even though you're away from the people. That's what I'm trying to interpret it as. I mean, look, the field itself, if you were in the field by yourself, you've walked away from the party, you're away from everyone. Yet, would the field be considered party activity, such as Sunday evening or so, when you had the Ford Ranger, Jack driving, I believe it's Jack's vehicle, Caden Pressey, Brylan, Isaac, don't know about Mike if he was there or not, Noah Presgrove, Caden, yeah, driving about and shooting at animals, driving through the field. Is that a party activity? You're not at the party as in the house, but you're on the property of where the party's taking place. So as long as you remain on the property, it means what? You never walked away from the party itself. Is that what Michael could be interpreting or suggesting? See, there's different ways of looking at it, right? I would say if you're off the property and you're on the highway, you have truly walked away from the party. If the party's all taking place and concentrated at the house and you exit the house, I would consider that walking away from the party as well. But maybe other people don't see it that way. But the field, party activities taking place at some point, but not permanent and not as a meeting point or a ground zero. The house is ground zero for the true party. Interesting. Highway its own thing, not to do with the property, not to do with the party, yet somehow Noah ended up down there a mile on or so. And Michael suggests that Noah Presgrove was already dead, put into a vehicle, driven down north, and then disposed of. So if Noah Presgrove was to be killed, manslaughter, murder, accident, something gone wrong, it'll be outside of the party house, but on site of the property. But as for the cause of death, was there a clean-up at least? And if there was a clean-up, did no one see any wet patches whatsoever? If it's that dry in the area, if enough scrubbing or cleaning or wetness was underground, would it remain and stay till when whoever showed up afterwards, as in Rene, Milan, or when Caden was leaving, anyone else leaving in between? Would it dry up quick enough before police supposedly came on down to question some of the partygoers, if that's the case? Would it be as noticeable on grass on the field compared to the dirt road? On grass, on field, if it's covered by some kind of vegetation, acts a bit of camouflage. If it's on flat dirt road, also the ground might create a bit of patchiness, wet, damp patches, collection of dirt, loose dirt gathered up, bunched up, and so on. Would there be any drainage or grids as well? Would there be any flooding? Depends how much water volume was used. It was said by some viewers on my channel in recent time, there was claims either by Alicia or somebody else that some big brusher truck, whatever the hell that is, came on down, driving on down to clean up. I think that would be a bit noisy and pretty much stand out like a sore thumb. Who the hell would get a brush truck to drive on down? You might as well land a bloody military cargo plane in the field and say that's happened, and somehow no one saw the extraction of it. Oh, goodness me. Sometimes things get a little bit off scale. But beside what Michael says, Kathy Bingham suggested a similar thing. As in more so when Noah Presgrove may have been walking out the front porchway area, which I'll get to in a second, the front porchway back there behind them. But Noah Presgrove was killed on the spot somehow. Then taken round the back of the house, loaded up in the side-by-side, and then driven down to the highway. How likely is that? The chances of Noah being killed is more likely if it happens outside of the house compared to inside of the house. I think common sense would tell you that, at least based on that theory or idea. But is there enough evidence to say that Noah was killed on site of the property? Whilst there is evidence to show that Noah Presgrove was found on the highway, and whilst not everybody is satisfied with that's where Noah died at, would anyone suggest and say, right, well, maybe Noah died elsewhere to justify the lack of this or that? I know, but we're just basing it off that mindset. Is it possible that Noah Presgrove had died somewhere else beforehand and then moved on, but not on site of the party house property? There's evidence, of course, hard evidence to say that Noah found dead on the highway because his body is found there and blood as well. But those that are not convinced by it and believe that Noah was killed or died elsewhere, where do you think? And if you say the party house, the property, where's the proof? Where is the proof? Even for the people that say, oh, there's missing blood, there's not enough blood, right? Those that claim that. Well, where do you think the missing blood is then? Where do you think missing items are then which could have been involved in Noah's death which are not present at the highway? Or you think the party house property? But where's the evidence to show that? There isn't any. Oh, so maybe it was cleaned up. Yeah, maybe. But is there any evidence of a clean-up? No. And no. That's the thing. There's hard evidence to suggest some kind of death on the highway just because of the body being found there. But in terms of before that, further back, south down the highway, encroaching onto the party house property from the field to the dirt road to up to the house and inside, we've not heard or seen any hard evidence documented of a clean-up or anything like that. See that mentioned by Paul Poucher, claiming to be Noah Presgrove's cousin, that claimed to have gone down to the party house on the day of Noah's death in the evening or so, and it was all locked up and empty, no one about, ghost town. Did Paul Poucher notice any wetness on the ground, any possible blood anywhere when it was still somewhat fresh at the time in which something could have happened or just happened, just been cleaned up? To look back now probably wouldn't be likely. That is why some people go on about, well, if the police were more proactive, if the police ended up going to the house and actually investigating the land like a search warrant, they would have found something. But would they? It's that what if. Didn't happen in the end, which is unfortunate. Possible wasted opportunities. So it's all about being careful with language and wording. You might think Noah died elsewhere. You might think it happened on the party house property, but there's just no hard evidence to support it. But to have a theory or an idea is perfectly okay. Of course, not everybody words it that way, do they? People word it as a fact. People point it out bold as if it truly did happen with absolute confidence and certainty. But if you don't have hard evidence and you don't have hard evidence, it's just not good enough. The motive aspect, well, that's its own topic for discussion. But just the debate of did Noah walk away, yes or no, you can let me know what you think in the comment section below. I would personally say, in my opinion, and trying to word it as clear as possible, I think Noah Presgrove did walk away from the party, as in exiting the party house, distancing himself, isolating himself from everyone, and going so far down the dirt road, then possibly stopping and cooling off near to some vehicles or maybe even a tree or something that no one in the moment followed, supposedly. Then that would link on with the concept of walking away from the party, where you distance yourself from where the party is taking place at. Could something unexpected have happened after that point? Could someone have joined up or walked by or entered on site at the party house property and passed by Noah, and one thing led to another? You never know. If the building closest towards the train crossing was in used as a party, extended people, misfits, strangers hanging out there, and Noah left one party and got close to another party, that's another suggestion to put out there. Not really seen any footage of the other buildings or anyone nearby them. There's not enough hard evidence. It's just a theory or an idea. But, I just think Noah walked away from the party. And in terms of Justin Roy, unfortunately, a bit of a broken record. Just couldn't comprehend it. Justin kept going on in the past as well, at a time of when I was in his good books. Justin kept saying Noah wouldn't have walked away. He couldn't have walked away, not just for that reason, not just for the bedroom situation. It's just not possible. It's not possible. Well, if Noah Presgrove was rejected a ride home earlier when he wanted to get home and he didn't have that chance, might have been a bit of mild frustration. That any other activities in between, mild frustration. Bedroom debacle, wanting to sleep, rejected, frustration. And drunk, wanting to cool off and get away from it, clear his head. If that's not good enough, as in a chain of frustrations and rejections in some way, if that's not good enough, or people don't think it's enough, well, Jasmine Millan said it's normal for Noah to walk away. Oh, we can't trust Jasmine Millan because she's dodgy. She might be wording it that way, but it's not the truth, so we've got to be skeptical. Caden Pressey said the same exact thing in even more detail. Oh, well, if it's Caden Pressey, then yes. Absolute truth. Interesting. But Caden Pressey had said all the parties which he attended with Noah would normally get drunk, eventually walk away from the party, disappear for 30 minutes, then return back to cool off and to not bring the mood down if there was any tension, conflict, or frustrations, misunderstandings, etc. Same probably happened at this final party for Noah, but something different occurred which prevented Noah from returning back. All I say is, for Jasmine to go out at 3:41 to announce that Noah's missing and do a post about it in a light-hearted way. Before that, for the likes of Logan supposedly to be outside and witness Noah walking east from what Jack says, and from what Jasmine told Robin and Ashley that it was Avery that actually saw Noah walking away. Maybe it was Avery, maybe it was Logan, outside of the party house, stood watching Noah walk away. If it's so normal for Noah to walk away, people should be used to it by now. How often and how normal is it for other said partygoers to follow Noah out and stand there and watch him walk away? How often, how frequent is it for someone like Jasmine Milan to walk out 10, 11 minutes later to then make a snap about it as in Noah's missing? Does that normally happen? Or is it an exception this one time? And if it's a one-time exception, it's an abnormality. And when there's abnormalities, it stands out, and there's got to be a reason for it this time round compared to all the other times in the past. That's the only question that I bring up, which has not yielded an answer yet. So if anyone does know, or if you have your thoughts, suspicions, common sense, whatever, leave it below in the comments. In terms of anything else, I can't think of at this moment in time, but just wanted to do a little catch-up video here for a change, as for a discussion. And if there's any other stuff I can cover and apply to maps, then I'll do so. But be on the lookout for some new videos coming up shortly. Hope you enjoyed this one. Feel free to hit the like button, share the video, and hopefully the awareness is spread. My name is Wallite Raff. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Good night for now.